In just my humble opinion, we have not seen a really good depiction of Green Lantern in the live-action universe. Sorry, Ryan Reynolds.
I'm sorry. Did I disappoint you?
I wonder why that might be, and today we're going to explore that. Stay tuned. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the show. So glad to see you all once again. And if you're new here, thank you for stopping by. We go back and look at cartoons and shows and movies that we grew up on from the 80s and 90s and early 2000s and talk about them today from the perspective of being an adult, which I think I am. So today we're talking about the episode Blackest Night from the Justice League. We're just getting into the Justice League series. All right, so we have the Manhunters, and they're sent after John Stewart, and John Stewart and the Justice League fight them, but he surrenders, and they go back to Druid's, the planet or whatever, because he's on trial for genocide. And then we have Kenjo Rowe, who was smuggling weapons, and he testifies that there was a stray beam from the Green Lantern that went and blew up this planet. And then John says, "Oh well, I'm guilty. There's nothing. There's no defense." But Superman and Manhunter say, "Well, something's off," and they go to the planet to investigate. And Flash is trying to stall, and he's trying to act like the warrior. And then Hawkgirl goes talk to the Green Lantern Corps, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I don't care about him." Kilowog agrees to help, but it doesn't do much. Superman and Manhunter are on the planet, and they find this holographic generator that is generating the planet. And they go back, and John has just been pronounced guilty. But then Superman and Manhunter are like, "Well, hey, there's more evidence here." And they go and they reveal that there was just a frame up. Then the Guardians who were there leave, and then they go back to Oa. And they go, "Oh yeah, the Manhunters we created before the Green Lantern Corps," and then now they're attacking them, and Justice League have to stop, and everybody then goes home happy. I did it. Time to spare. Okay, here we go. This is a great episode because they really spend some time with Green Lantern. Maybe a less familiar hero from the world of the Justice League, and certainly a lot of people did not know, and myself included, John Stewart as the Green Lantern. Most people think of Hal Jordan when they think of the Green Lantern, but this one brings us John Stewart. We have this cold open, and this one's really cool. It sets up this mystery of the Manhunters, and we see them being sent out to hunt the Green Lantern, or John Stewart. And all we really know of John Stewart or the Green Lantern is that he's one of the heroes. He's one of the good guys. And now we're seeing him being hunted by these Manhunters, who we don't know who they are. So it's just a really nice setup as we get into the episode.
He's a native of the planet Earth, the Green Lantern, known as John Stewart.
Now, once again, this is a two-parter, as we've seen with some of as the previous episode. Again, if you haven't seen my first review of Justice League, I do Secret Origins, so you can check that out right there. But it's interesting that they are doing two-parters. Now, we think of television now, today, with streaming and on-demand and everything like that. Everything is continued. Everything is previously on. Everything is, I'm watching series that are 10 parts, and they all are just basically one big movie, one big story. And we're used to that because we can pause, we can come back, and we can go to the next episode, and we have a little bar on our streaming service that says, "Oh, continue watching this." Well, this Justice League series, this is their format. They pretty much exclusively do two-parters. It's interesting for the time. Now, we don't think anything of it, but at the time, it was pretty wild.
I can't believe it. Neither can I.
And this also introduces another format style with the show, and that is that not all of the heroes appeared in all the episodes. The person that's particularly missing in this is Batman.
Superman's dealing with an earthquake, and Batman would only say that he's busy.
Typical.
I always think of Batman as one of the primary Justice League members, but I was reading that their intention was to have Batman in even less episodes, and this sort of set the pace, that they started this off by going, "Oh, hey guys, Batman is not going to be in every episode. Batman is a supporting character," and they even set that up in Secret Origins, that when he joined the team, it was,
"But when you need help, and you will, call me."
I really like the scale of this story in particular, but really Justice League in general, is that it takes place in space and other planets, and it's got this very sci-fi element of just a big world out there. And because you have this team comprised of aliens and other heroes and different people that are part of this team, it just lends itself that, okay, we're going to be dealing with alien races and other factions of the universe that we don't normally get to see. And I like that.
Prepare to be dazzled.
So it's neat that they take this story and they go, okay, we want to tell more about Green Lantern. We want to introduce him to the world and who John Stewart is and what the Green Lantern Corps does. And they do that through a courtroom drama, which I thought was just a really kind of inventive way of telling this story.
You call this a trial? I say it's a joke.
And it's got great mystery. We have the Manhunters that are looking for Green Lantern. So that in itself is adds a little intrigue. Who are the Manhunters? What are they doing? Now, I, for one, didn't read a lot of Green Lantern comic books when I was growing up. I knew of Green Lantern, and I would see different, little stories of him here and there. And I want to say this was really kind of my introduction to who Green Lantern was.
He was the best of us, that's for sure.
And they do have kind of a cool piece of tech in here where they're able to extract the memories directly from the people giving testimony, which wouldn't that be terrific if we could use that in court, that we could just extract the memories and see that, which is a great kind of plot device and an interesting way of doing this kind of out of this world court, where it's sort of a familiar courtroom setting, but is a little different in how they present this. But it also adds to the story that we get into in part 2, where it turns out to be a con. It turns out to not be true. So you have to figure out a way to do that. That it looks like it's true, and everybody, including John Stewart, thinks that he actually blew up this planet. So all of that is really great, and it's also a very clever way to do a flashback, which again, I'm not a big fan of flashbacks, but they're able to show the story rather than just telling it.
He wanted to know if I was working with anyone.
The other element to this courtroom drama is that the lawyer or the person defending the person, I don't know if they actually call them a lawyer, but suffers the same penalty as the convicted. I thought that was kind of an interesting little plot device to add in there.
That's crazy.
And I also think that it's a little bit of a different take on a trial, in that the person being accused of the crime knows he's guilty. So he's just more or less going through this proceeding and has no defense, is not planning on defending himself, because he carries this guilt that, he destroyed this planet, killing billions of people or whatever the population of the planet was.
I did it. I'm guilty.
What's also pretty incredible about these episodes is the supporting cast. We've got this great cast voicing the Justice League, but this episode in particular has really a strong supporting cast. We've got James Remar as the lead Manhunter, Ajax from the Warriors, if you remember him.
No man escapes the Manhunters.
You know what that is, don't you?
Kurtwood Smith as the prosecutor, Clarence from RoboCop.
Surprise witness, he was nowhere near the crime. What kind of witness can he be?
Take a look at my face, Dick.
Kanjar-O is Odo from Deep Space Nine.
Kanjar-O. I'm a pirate.
I'm disappointed in you, Chief.
The guy from the State Farm commercials as Kilowog.
Hawk Girl's right. We've learned that the best things in life don't cost much.
I mean, it's just like a who's who of 90s pop culture, which is very cool, and very, very strong supporting cast that really kind of rounds out this whole story really well.
It is time, brothers. Time to avenge 1,000 years of grievances.
And it opens up this other sort of another plot, really, where we have the Manhunters, and we tell this whole backstory of how the Guardians created the Manhunters to stop bad in the world or in the universe, but they don't see the gray area of good versus bad, and now they've kind of gone rogue. And then they have the Green Lantern Corps that is the new thing. It's kind of it opens up this whole other plot, and I don't remember if they come back into play. I think they do.
Why didn't you
decommission them?
We reprogrammed them for lesser duties: tracking, hunting, guarding.
And it's kind of wild too that the trial ends, and it's almost like it starts this whole other episode with the showdown with the Manhunters and there's just and the Guardians, and we're on Oa now, and it's just a whole new thing.
Manhunter, stop! Not till we've regained what is rightfully ours.
These are a great pair of episodes, a great story, and a great way of establishing the Green Lantern Corps, the Manhunters, Oa, and also the team working together. John Stewart goes to them and says, "Hey, I did this. I'm guilty. I don't want to be. I want to own up to my crimes." And the rest of the team, seeing the good in him and knowing there's got to be more to this, and doing the research to figure out what's going on and why this is happening.
I want to take a closer look at what happened.
Why? John admits he's guilty. No one's disputing the facts.
Maybe I am.
I mean, all of that just really plays well into the story, and not only setting up Green Lantern, but setting up kind of the structure of the show and the structure of how this is going to roll out. All of that works out really well for me.
We chose wisely when we offered you the ring. Thank you.
So I asked in the beginning, what is it that is so hard to get Green Lantern right in the world of the movies? And I think it's because Green Lantern is like no other hero, because he is part of this core. He is part of this entity. He has been chosen. He has a ring that does all these powers from his imagination, which again is a hard thing to depict on screen. I think that we go too far one direction or the other. What I've seen of depicting Green Lantern is like it's either, well, we focus on the person or we focus on the core, the group, and it's really, it's almost a two-hander. You've got to focus on both of them. The other thing is in the comics, there's several different versions of Green Lantern. Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Kyle Rayner. Am I saying that right? My comments are going to blow up because I screwed up his name. But there's a lot of different personalities, and I think that depending on who you want to bring forward to play Green Lantern or how you want to depict the character comes across differently. I don't think that, I like Ryan Reynolds, but I don't think he was a good pick to play Hal Jordan. You cast Ryan Reynolds, you get Ryan Reynolds.
Wow. I know, right?
I hope to see a good depiction of Green Lantern, and I hope to see somebody come forward that is a fan of Green Lantern, that loves Green Lantern, loves the stories that they can do with that, and can do a different type of movie for what it is. But it just takes the right person that has the right vision to make it happen, and I believe it will. Hopefully in my lifetime.
Let's go home.
So when it comes time to rank this episode, yes, it's only up against one other episode, Secret Origins, the original, but I do place this one at number 1. As I mentioned with Secret Origins, that felt very much like a necessary story. But what this does is really gets into the stories and the style of storytelling and the style of the characters that we're going to see throughout the series. So yeah, again, it's only up against one other one, but I do think it's at a strong seat in the number 1 spot.
You believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself.
Hey, what are friends for?
So if you enjoyed this episode, please click the like button, maybe even hit subscribe if you want to see more episodes like this, because next up, we're going to be talking about The Enemy Below, which brings Aquaman into the fold. So be sure to check that out. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm Andy Knode, and I'll see you next time.